could use a break. The Hagfen is a strange place, even with the Wirises watching over it.
You. I know you from Alik'r. You roughed up so many of my bravos. Tamriel is a small place, after all. I just returned from Alik'r myself, back in my chair, drinking my wine with my wife. Wait. Please tell me you're not here to... No! You realize what this means. Not one moment of relaxation, not one. And damn it, I thought this talk about the withered hand was just rumor. The Sentinel docks? The nerve. But it sounds like something those motherless dogs would do. I tell you, Uwafa and Alisan might just be more Uwafa and Alisan are the sons of that old bastard Satura. They're calling themselves the Withered Hand as a fear tactic. I knew them when they were boys. They're the same age as Prince Azar. Speaking of whom, we should inform him. Exactly. He knows more about this business than I do. That's for sure. If you'll go round up the prince, I'll have to find some way to explain to my wife why I'm leaving again. My guess is that he's with the girls at his seraglio by the North Wall. I know what you're thinking, but it's not because the prince is some kind of ladies' man. The girls help him gather information. My hope is that Prince Azar might have a lead on where Uwafa and Alisan have set up their headquarters, or better yet, what they're planning next. Regardless, these are things we should... We all do. Satura was one of the king's viziers, kept his little hobby a secret. Then one day the king came to meet his viziers and found them all dead. The real surprise was when Satura ordered their corpses to attack. That's how it started. I tried to train them in swordplay. Uwafa and Alisan along with Prince Azar. Those two had no interest, though. I would always catch them torturing insects and animals.
I should have tried to stop them. It was a nightmare. These savage men burst into the seraglio. They struck down the guards and even sweet little Rohiba. No, yet another way in which I failed. I should have followed them out into the street. I'm such a fool. Maybe someone else out there saw them. Maybe they can tell you which...
Someone help! They took him!
That way. They went that way.
They took the prince down the path.
Hurry!
I tried, but they got me with their evil...
I don't recognize you, but under the circumstances, I'm certainly glad to make your acquaintance. You will be well rewarded for assist- Ah, so you do know who I am, then? Did my father put you up to this? Is he keeping tabs on me? Well, I shouldn't be so I don't wish to seem ungrateful, but you should know that kidnapping me was just a distraction. The Withered Hand, they've been planning this for years. If only we had heard the rumors sooner. I'm tunneling into the Impervious Vault. This tunnel was just one of their attempts. It's a brilliant plan, really. The gates of the vault have been magically sealed for centuries, but underneath, the vault's apparently not so Undoubtedly, they're hoping to steal the Anse wards. With the wards. Let's head south. There's a ladder leading up into the city. Go on and tell my father what they're planning. I'm going to call the guard to the vault.
Word has reached me of what happened at the Seraglio. I should have seen this coming. Please, I told Toda you'd come through. I had a feeling about you, right from the start. Tell me, though, where is Azar? And was this the extent of the Withered Hand's plot? Blade's Edge. How could they? Would that actually work? If they get into the vault, they could steal the Anse wards. And then... I can take guards to the Impervious Vault, but we're going to need help from the Mages Guild. As much as I hate to admit it, only they know how to... When you reach the Mages Guild Tower, speak to Gabrielle. She understands the need for discretion. I will meet you at the Impervious Vault. Of course. If you were not raised here, you would not know. The Anse wards were created centuries ago. The first time necromancers threatened the people of the Alik'r. They were created to protect us from the risen dead. Or perhaps the protections are not so evident. The Anse wards maintain our covenant with Tu'whacca. If we consecrate our dead, those dead cannot be raised. Thus, the Withered Hand can raise only unconsecrated corpses. Our priests perform the consecration ritual at funerals. But if the corpse is lost, this is not possible. Additionally,
Satora was also fond of murdering people and raising them right away. I assume the Withered Hand is doing the same. It would be unthinkable. With the Ansei wards, the Withered Hand could raise our most honored ancestors. Legendary warriors who were heroes in life, but would be most terrible in...
This is taking longer than I planned.
It's true.
Hey, I know you. We killed that crazy old necromancer together, Angoff. Remember that midnight talisman we used to break into Cathedral? I still can't believe that worked. So I don't suppose you need help with something fun like that. Are you joking? I've been wanting to take a crack at that place ever since I heard the name. Wait a minute. Did Simone put you up to this? Why would the king want to break into the vault? Necromancers? Ansei wards? Fascinating. Count me in. So we just need to break the seal? I know. Let's try this. Go to the bazaar and get flame stock from Lucien and Worm's headcap from Ninaba. Then meet me at the vault.
I'm afraid these are...
Cast your...
You'll need a stout back to...
I foresaw your...
Welcome to Ninaban's important worm stalk caps. Flame stalks. Tasty. Oh. One has to start somewhere. Monkeys.
Take your time and browse.
Ah, this is for Gabrielle, isn't it?
Aha, perfect. Say though, you didn't happen to pick up a few giant's toes while you were at the bazaar, did you? That's fine. Giant's toes could make a bigger gap in the seal, but they're probably hard to find here anyways. These should do the trick, I think. Worm's head on top of the flame stalk, or flame stalk inside the worm. Oh, absolutely. It's only one person going in anyways. Without the giant's toes, I can only open the seal so far. Of course. Baharajad thinks that one person should be you. He wants to talk to you first, though. Sure. I just need a minute to think about how exactly to word this. Gotta...
If we are too late, the implications are unthinkable for all of Alik'r. I've prayed to Tuwa and even Akatosh, though I do not hold them sacred. I will pray. Your hope is contagious, Wayfarer. I am pleased that your road has led you here. General Thoda is not a man of faith, but even he agrees your coming seems more than a coincidence. If only one of us can enter the vault. I cannot adequately express my gratitude. You must be careful, though. Azar believes the Withered Hand is far more powerful than we realized. Uwafa and Alisan in particular. If you see either of them, I suggest you exercise extreme caution. I pray that we are not too late to stop the Withered Hand. And with the same breath, I thank the gods for guiding you here.
Stand back, Your Majesty. I'm not sure how the vault will react. I hope this works. It worked. Go quickly. I don't know how long it'll stay open.
They've broken into the vault. Stop them, fools! Enough! Get the Onse wards out, now! The Anse wards are ours, fool. Soon all Alik'r will fall.
You are not marked with the corruption of undeath, nor those that foster it. You are not aligned with them. You sought to protect the wards? Praise Tuatha. That means there are still living those who oppose the menace of necromancy in the Alik'r. Hearken closely then, for my spirit cannot abide here long. We sacrificed ourselves to create the wards, and through them we have protected the consecrated dead. But the wards have fallen into corrupted hands now, and we are powerless to stop them. You must recover the ward. I do not know. My sight is weakened, and my presence is tied to my ward. They have taken it far from here. That is why I am fading. Find the... We will meet again.
That took longer than I hoped. It's hard to be patient when I know the fate of my kingdom is at stake. Tell me you have good tidings. Damn it all! Voda said Satura's sons were dangerous. That's certainly true now. With the Anse wards, they can raise an army faster than I can. We have to stop them. We have to send Uafa. I've done everything in my power to avoid calling on the Ashaba. But I no longer have a choice. We must have their help to recover the Ansei wards. I would avoid contacting them directly, however. Will you be my aunt? Thank you. Most of the Ashaba live together, wandering the desert, going gods know where. Track them down, and tell their leader Marima that the Alik'r needs him again. We need the Ashaba to fight the Withered Hand. The Ashaba often spend this season camping at Morwa's bounty to the south. God's willing, perhaps they are still there. Marima sent his daughter to warn me of the... I hope I needn't remind you to keep this quiet. Rumors will spread about the Withered Hand, but we should try to keep the theft of the Ansei wards a secret. Of course it would.
Their heads first. Burn it!
Raya put you up to this? She's still out there, isn't she?
Set it ablaze!
Kill these fools! I'll have to do this myself. You're tougher than I thought. But let's see how you handle this. Here it is. Cower before the rod of Kravari. Time for a different approach. Awaken!
Quintus, always a little clumsy in his research, in murdering people, in relationships.
Heal me!
Almost definitely. It's an ink. It's an ancient... Stop. The eye may be fragile. Please, let me examine it. Now let's see if I can dislodge this. Something's happening. This doesn't seem right. That was unpleasant. Do you hear that? Like a scratching sound. Oh no. We have to get out of here.
Get out of here! Follow Thariah! I'll cover your escape!
Had it in my sight. After what I...
Yeah! I leave things to my brother, and this is what happens.
My minions, and you only remove the weaklings from my service. When you destroy the next, this one will have returned.
Know this, like all things, the pearl was covered in sand. Thus it came to belong to Zet, who worked. When the pearl is uncovered, the time of Sep's hunger will be over, and water will run from the pearl all over the dead skins, and the hungry stomach will at last be full. The spawn of Satakal are weakened by the waters. They are hungry. One sound will open the way, and one sound will close it. Take the call and find a goat. Use the call to lead the goat across the water as an offering to the beast. Only then it will be sated. The pearl is the way and the guide. It is the light to the far shores and back again, as they are placed by Tall Papa's hand. So it begins again. Satak was the first serpent. Satakal eats himself, and the spirits move to the far shores to wait for their next skin. Ruptka became the Tall Papa, and he made the great map with the stars in his hand. When Sep tricked the spirits, he put a star in his pocket. This was the pearl that fell out when Tall Papa squashed Sep with his staff. Sand covered the pearl. Thus it came to Zet, who works the land. When the pearl is uncovered, the time of Sep's hunger will be over. Water from the pearl will run over the skins, and the hungry stomach will at last be full. Know this, the pearl is the way and the guide. It is the light. The only real world is Satakal. You cannot eat the stars. One sound will open the way, and one sound will close it. This is the sound of the worlds, calling something to save them. What answers the call? So it begins again. Satak was the first serpent. Satakal eats himself. What answers the call? The story never changes, never shifts, as do the stars. And The Pearl is the way and the guide, the light to the far shores and back again. So it begins again.
Stay back, Wanderer. You are welcome to our camp, but our chief is not entertaining guests. Like so many of our warriors, he has been poisoned. The king has waited too long. So many warriors have died, and Marima holds on to life by a thread. We will answer the king's call to the best of our ability, but I fear...
When will I learn not to trust Stibbons? He's ruined everything. Aha! Perfect. You look like the fit sort. I wonder if you can assist me in... Well, I discovered this fabulous portal in the Alik'r ruins. I sent my assistant through, and... it was a mistake. Yes, and unfortunately, it seems they're now planning a full-scale invasion. Establishing a base, building siege weapons... We need to close the portal, quickly. You're a true hero, and I mean that. My camp is beside the ruins. That's where I left the book we need. Get the book, use it to activate the large pillars in the ruins. Then meet me inside the west door to the... I suppose that's a reasonable question. As you might imagine, the elves have locked the main entrance to the portal room. There is a back way, however, through an old prison of some sort. The pillars unlock the door into the prison. Oh, I haven't the foggiest notion what's in the prison. It's been centuries, though. Whatever was down there is surely dead. If not, well, you seem capable enough. And it can't be any worse than the damned elves. My researchers in High Rock gave me the essential background. Solace N was an Alik'r stronghold, built by human slaves in the Merethic era. The elves eventually got what they deserved during the Yokuden colonization of Hammerfell in the First Era. It's quite fascinating, really. It would seem to prove that the Altmer and the Alik'rs were still connected further into the Merethic era than we believed. I actually wrote a book on the subject. Well, someone wrote it for me, but who's counting? Unless they're sporting Dominion armor as a fashion statement, I'm afraid so. If my assistant had half a brain, he would have let himself be captured, rather than lead the... Well, we are at war, and an enemy army this deep into our territory would be a very bad thing. I would hate to think I destroyed the Daggerfall...
Dominion!
Oh, hello. I was just tidying up. This was our camp before the elves came. Well, it was Lady Laurent's camp. Oh, I shouldn't say. Because it's all my fault. The Aldmeri. Lady Laurent sent me through the portal to investigate. When the elves saw me, I ran and led them to the portal. So now she hates me. Please, I beg you, will you help me get back in her... Praise you, praise you. I'm trying to gather all her things. But her tools are scattered out in the ruins, and those are her most important... There's one more thing you should know. Lady Laurent hired this thuggish Tamian fellow. I believe she already asked him to recover her tools. You should speak to him up on the ramp. Because he's a brute, and I need to be the one to give her the tools. If I can't make her forgive me, she'll just leave me here, and then what will I do? This is my only chance.
Take me!
Well, if it isn't my old friend from Crosswitch. Let me guess. Lady Laurent has you helping clean up this mess she made. Or is it Stibbons, the bootless coward? He's hoping Lady Laurent will forgive him. It could be worse. Lady Laurent pays well, and she's got a pretty ambitious travel schedule. So I'm getting to see places I had never dreamed of. Can't say this desert's one of the highlights, though. Did he? I'm surprised he could get that out through the whimpering and whining. Lady Laurent already has someone to recover her tools. And you would recover them and give Stibbons the credit? Just following orders. Even before this, Stibbons couldn't keep up, so Lady Laurent hired me. I was just getting a bird's-eye view before getting to work. I'd say, though, if you were going to save Stibbons the trouble, well, for one thing, I'm better looking. For another, I'm actually getting paid. Stibbons was always just a glorified slave. Don't think too long. I'll go down there and get the tools myself. I was wondering if you were going to ask that. Yeah, I snatched up a few tool bags earlier. I suppose if you want to lug around the extra weight, I won't complain. Don't think too long.
To leave.
Well, I think I've gathered up all of Lady Laurent's... Praise the Eight! You just... Ha! That's...
Certainly made short work of those elves. There seem to be few odd skeletons down here. No problem for you, I'm sure.
Thank you very much
Fortunately, I can translate the ancient Ailiad, and that should tell us how to close the portal. It's through this door right behind me. The problem is that it's locked, but it appears that it's controlled by a switch deeper in the ruins. Would you be a dear and find the switch? Oh, if only I...
Before you speak, stranger, know this. For centuries, a spell has bound me. Many have tried to free me and failed. Did you hear me? This is no common spell. It was cast by Alik'r wizards long since dead. This is a true curse. The task is beyond you. Of course, a fool... For centuries, amateurs like yourself have tried to release me. Fools, all of you. You'd have a better chance of becoming the next emperor. It pains me to speak of the past. Would you force me to relive such bitter memories? Ha! Please! There's a word I remember well. Please, she said to me. No one will know, she promised. Nuralanya, she was called in her High Elven tongue. She was just Nura when we were together. I could deny her nothing. I was enthralled, a slave madly in love with his master. Our secret was eventually exposed, and the elves were furious. Our love was an abomination in their eyes. They decided execution was too kind a punishment for our crime. I was here, and she was there. To see one another, but not able to hear, or touch, or hold. Yet even that torment was insufficient for their retribution. The elves wove a spell to extend my life and prolong my torment. Elves live a long time, but not forever. I sat and watched as Nura slowly grew old and died. Sometime after that, the Regatta came and slaughtered the other elves. But even with them dead, the spell held strong. It was the Regatta, the warrior wave. The warriors sought vengeance. The swords of Yakuta passed through these halls, and the High Elves were washed away. They would have killed me, were it not for this spell. Instead, I watched, safely ensconced within this prison, as my captors were slaughtered. Many centuries passed before I learned who the warriors were, or from whence they came. A foreign people had arrived on these shores. They came from a distant land. Yakuta, it was called. Yakutan warriors set out to conquer the new world they found. Singers named them the Regatta. It pains me to speak. Fine. What would you ask of me? It was the Regatta, the war. Fine. What would you ask of me? If I knew, don't you think I would have escaped by now? All I know is the time. It pains me. Fine. What would...
To the thief, they watch him. There is no escape.
For centuries, amateurs like yourself have tried to release me. Fools, all of you. You'd have a better chance of being... If I knew, don't you think I would have escaped by now? All I know is the tiles must be used in the right order, and the order was determined by time, whatever that means. Order is his prison. Expect that to work. Doing that? Be onto something. By the bloody fangs of Moloch! By the stench of Moloch's gaping maw! What have you done? How can this be? I should thank you, but I don't even think this is what I wanted. It's been so long since my life was my own. This is all I know. I don't want to leave.
The orc I know and love would never utter such words.
Nura? Is it really you? It's been so long.
We've suffered enough of this curse. By the grace of Mara, I've been allowed to take you beyond this mortal realm.
Finally, a release from the suffering of this world.
Come, my love. We have the rest of eternity to be together.
They have so much faith in that seal they put on the main door. They don't even have anyone guarding the portal. I'm not complaining, though. All right, you're going to have to protect me, though. The chamber may be clear now, but as soon as I start the ritual, they'll realize it on the other side. All right, let's get this started. Woohoo! Take that, you damned elves! Oh, wait, I just lost my place. Alusaba. Takio? Takio. Taco? How do you pronounce it? All right, I think I've got it. Mala Alu Takeo. Well, that takes care of that now, doesn't it? I'm actually quite relieved. It would have been so embarrassing to have been responsible for the fall of Alik'r. After I opened the portal, I considered just leaving. I am too.
You approach the camp of the Ashaba. Unless you are here to help us, My father is very sick. So were many of our warriors. Many have even died. Our water was poisoned. Probably by these foul necromancers, the Withered Hand. They seek to weaken the Ashaba so that we cannot stand. More to the point, we would fight the dead they raise. Such is our sacred duty as Ashaba. None of that matters, though. Unless I can find the ingredients for the antidote. It is the only way to save my father. Will you help me? Come quickly, then. Meet me at my tent in the camp.
Yeah!
Here. I've marked on your map where my father says we can find the ingredients. Lead the way. I will see my fallen brothers and sister avenged, even if it is the last thing I ever do. My father has been chief of the tribe for 26 years. We would not know what to do without him. Who would have believed the withered hand would poison our water? We must hurry. So many Ashaba have already died. That's everything. Meet me at my father's tent. Please, Father. There must be some way.
You must accept this, Talia. You are welcome to our camp. We are usually generous. You have seen, of course. The tribe is weak, and I am soon to return to the sand. Another must fulfill the sacred duty of the Ashaba. That other is you, yes. There can be no doubt. The withered hand. We have never faced such a threat. But it is our duty to stop them. You must become one of us. You must... There is a ritual. My daughter. I told her the ingredients were for an antidote. But she knows now. They are for your initiation. There's not much time. I understand your hesitation. Thank my daughter. That is...
The great man lies dying over there, and he has put all his faith in you. I hope it is not misplaced. I have finished mixing the potion for your initiation. Whenever you are ready, we can begin the trial.
Very well. Then here it is. Go to the Mikada in the back of the tent and drink. Be prepared, Initiate.
Samir, rouse yourself. Or do you... Samir, my brother. Finally you stir. Did you drink too deeply from the starry well last night? This is unlike you. Quickly, pull yourself together. Morwa's mercy. Maybe you took a head bump too. Did you forget about the battle? The regatta will drive these evil elves from our lands for good. I am to fight at your side today, brother. Now there is the Samir I know. Sometime you will have to tell me what has befallen on this last night. A story of wildness, I am sure. Come now, though. Samir, I am really starting to worry. Have you been ensorcelled? The year is 853. Our father is King Jaqwan, come from old Yakuta to settle here in the Alik'r desert. I hope this is starting to sound familiar. Shaba? These people I do not know. Are they also elves? If we must, we will kill them too. I need you to focus though, Samir. Focus on, because they do not want us here. Our blade's edge. I am sorry. Praise the gods.
Regatta, you all know that the elves are outside our walls. These infidels call us barbarians. They would drive us from this land. But what the elves do not know is that Rupka himself guided us to these shores. He decreed that the Alik'r would be our home. Today, the infidels will see the strength of the Shahai. Ansi will guide our blades. Today, the sands will run red with elven blood. For
elves.
You look strong, Samir. My heart is proud. I believe this will be a day of destiny for you and your brother. If we wish to remain here, yes. And much of the glory for this victory will go to you and your brother. I send you forth as my champions to slice through the elves' ranks and find their leader. Cut off the snake's head, and then the body. Yes, it is a great honor and a great responsibility. But you have proven your valor time and again, Samir. I know you will succeed and clear the way for our people's future. Go now, and go with the gods, my son. You have my blessing. I know you will be victorious, my son. May Ansi guide your blade.
Give me a moment, Samir. I must make my offering to Ansi. Come to my tent when you are ready to enter the battle. Our deeds today will be remembered for generations to come, brother. Lead on.
certainly eager to die. You've already lost. While you charged, we went behind and killed your king. Ha!
Must have gone through the crypt. Quickly, we must stop them. I smell death in here, Samir. Gods, look at the walking bones. These elves have no shame? You are too late, Samir. Your father is dead. Even worse, some elven necromancer. He turned The necromancer slew your father and then reanimated his corpse. It is the most terrible thing I have ever seen. He is lost. There is nothing to be done for it. Samir, you must not go in there. You would have to strike down your own father. As darkly as these events have transpired, our laws remain sacred. Your father is honored dead. Harm his remains, and you dishonor yourself. Yes, there is no other choice to be made. I know your father would not want us to abandon our new home here, but he could not have foreseen this. He would not have us break the sacred law. You must not even consider such a thing. We should discuss this. Come with me. Dealt us a cruel hand, my brother. I agree with you. Father would not want us to flee our home. But do we dishonor ourselves? To kill him would mean exile, but I am willing to do this if you command. Because it is clear that one of us must make this sacrifice. You are in line to become king now. If you strike our father, you would be throwing all of this away. For me, there is not as much at stake. Just speak the command and I will go, brother. No! No, please!
My son. Now you will die.
Why, Samir? Why? You have broken the most sacred tradition of the kingdom. Nothing can justify such sacrilege. The law is clear, Samir. Good. Then there is nothing more for us to discuss. Let us hope your brother learns to...
He's done then? I would not have such courage. In my mind, you are a hero for what you have... No. You deserve to be honored for your actions. But the Vizier says that by law, you must be exiled instead. Your courage, your humility. You should be king, not I. I'm sorry. I suppose I must stop acting like a child and accept my responsibility. Whatever happens, though, your sacrifice will...
Welcome back. You were gone for longer than I expected. I trust you walked in the steps of Prince Samir of Yath and experienced the event. He was. Samir went on to start a family and a tribe in exile. They wandered the desert as nomads and became known as the Ashaba. Hakmir became king and ruled peacefully until years later, when he again faced the threat of necromancers and undead. The colony from Yath would have fallen, but Samir led his tribe against the necromancers and their army of risen dead. The Ashaba accepted the dishonor of fighting the dead to save the kingdom. So it has been ever since. You have now witnessed the first sacrifice, and you know that true honor need not be named. You are one of us. You are Ashaba. We will recognize you as our brother, and together, we will up... Yes. The words have been spoken. There is little we can do to help our fellow Ashaba here now. So we should do as my father wished. We should dedicate ourselves to destroying the Withered Hand. They killed my father. I will enjoy the opportunity to even the score. There is a place to the northeast, a sacred place called Tuwaka's Throne. It is a place of quiet and of honor. Many, many heroes have been laid to rest there. I worry what would happen if the Withered Hand were to go there. I must see to the consecration of my father's remains. It would be disrespectful to do otherwise. Go on to Tu'whaka's throne.
They will pay for what... Satakal's wrath, Wayfarer. Unless you want to wade through an army of undead, go no further. These dogs, the Withered Hand, they seized control of Tu'whaka's throne. And now they are raising the consecrate... Beyonce wards, stolen. There is no way. The impervious vault. How? This does explain how they raise the consecrated dead, though. It also explains why Tu'whaka is so angry. He speaks to me. He says the temple must be... Oh, Tu'whaka will do the cleansing. We must only clear the way. If you will help me light the sacred braziers, Tu'whaka will send his breath to help us. For each direction the wind blows, there is a brazier. Light the first 3, and meet me at the west brazier. I will light that one. Then, we will light the central brazier together, and soon see Uwafa and his withered hand destroyed. We do not know. There is no record of these defenses ever being used. All I can recall is reading that it is supposed to help cleanse the temple and return the dead to their rest. Uncertainty is part of the fun, though. This man is very dangerous. He is the leader of these Withered Hand dogs. He offered me the chance to leave peacefully. I wanted to protect my fellow priests, but we could not surrender Tu'whaka's sake. Tu'whaka is the caretaker of the far shores. We will all visit him one day. The throne is the final resting place of our honored ancestors. Our heroes have been buried here for centuries. It is...
This is not good. Not good at all. I've killed a skeleton or 2 in my day, but this is worse than that. We are going to need more Ashaba. You? I'm pretty good with faces, but I don't know yours. You must have just joined then. Either way, welcome to the tribe. It's good that you're here.
Do you understand why I am concerned? Some of the greatest heroes in history are buried here. Kings, queens, legendary warriors. If they've risen, it is a Shaba duty to kill them, and that's not going to be easy.
There is. I maintain vigil here to ensure that certain ancient heroes, let's just say, if they're raised, that's a problem. With what's happened here, I need someone to check their graves. If they're up and about, they need to be put down. Thank you. This is no small thing, I ask, and I appreciate you stepping up. The 3 graves I need you to check belong to Homage Arena, Yokida Razul, and Queen Afsar. They changed the course of history. I'll mark the graves' locations on your map. I'd go with you, but I have to watch and ensure they don't slip by. There are other Ashaba who can join you, though. You want one skilled in swordplay, or one who's adept at restoration magic? Very smart. I've rarely seen her equal with a blade. Let her keep the heroes occupied, and perhaps you can use magic to send them back to the sand. There are many heroes buried here, to be sure. But these 3 are the ones Ashaba's scholars are most concerned about. They were extremely powerful in life, and scholars fear they could be extremely dangerous in death. Rena was an arminger in the Order of Diagna, who died in the final days of the Siege of Orsinium. She was born in the siege camp there, and spent her entire 26 years fighting the orcs. Razul fought alongside Divad Hunding, yes.
I can't abandon my mission. I'll continue on.
Ah, they... Of course. Or do you wish to let them rest and take the other this time? There are many here.
sides!
You have done well, Wayfarer. Very soon, it is like Tuwaka is taking in the air and preparing to send his breath. Tuwaka says you will have the pleasure of killing this Uwafa. With his help, of course. First, you must light the final brazier over there. Uwafa has sealed himself inside the sanctum with my priests. I fear for them, but Tuwaka will help us. He will unseal the doors. Then you can go in and kill this necromancer bastard. Are you ready to witness the... Go now, and light the final brazier. Do not fear the power. Oh, yes. We cannot forget those. If this Uwafa has them, we will soon get them back. Even with the Anse wards, Uwafa is no match for the strength of a god. Of course, all priests of Tuwaka know such things. The wards were forged when 3 Anse gave their lives to channel their spirits into their blades. They did this so that the wards would protect the consecrated dead. In the hands of these necromancers. Oh, great Tuwaka, keeper of souls, hear the prayer of your humble servant. Your sacred grounds have been defiled. The rest of our ancestors have been disturbed. I ask you to send your sacred breath to cleanse the temple, and give us your blessing to destroy the defiler.
I cannot
given
follow
his
you
blessing.
into Tuwaka
Go
Sanctum.
into the inner
My
sanctum
mission leads
and
elsewhere.
kill Uwafa.
corruption in my ward is gone. But the other wards, we must find them.
I am very proud. Tuwaka says that you smote this Uwafa mightily. Tuwaka says you should not worry. He says you will find them. I can watch over the ward of Anse Radan for now. I do not know where the other Anse wards have been taken, but Tuwaka tells me that you must go east, my friend. He says that is the next step on your journey. No, Tuwaka is quiet now. He is not worried about you. He is more worried about me getting the temple cleaned up. I have a suggestion, though. I think you should start your search in the city of Bergama. There is a great scholar in Bergama. Her name is Zore. She knows much about the Anse wards. She may have the answers we seek.
Then you fulfill.
Destroy the body, and the animus is cast into darkness. But the animus returns. I am patient, but not that patient.
You may be safer in the desert than in Bergamo, Wayfarer. You're heading the wrong way, Wayfarer. Just anyone with the sense the gods gave to a dog is leaving Bergamo, or making preparations to do so. Many people have gone missing in recent days, and the city officials can't seem to do their jobs. Politics. Always the problem here. The magistrate is a forebear, and the crowns say she is incompetent. Neither side trusts the other. It creates quite a mess. You want to help? Speak.
This is getting to be absurd. How much longer must we pretend? My daughter wails in disappointment, and our two families verge on coming to blows. There is nothing to be done for it. We do not know. Kaznar may be among those who recently went missing. Or he simply changed its mind. He is a forebear after all. I warned her. Crowns and forebears should not mix. Now everyone is angry. She must call up. Tiela is like a dune ripper in a sandstorm. She buries her head to hide from the truth. Perhaps you can help. I must stay here. But someone needs to speak to Kaznar's brother. Unless he can explain. I am most grateful for your help. Kaznar's brother Ine will be at his market stall. The wedding offended him so greatly he had refused to attend. Whether he knows what happened to Kaznar or not, I hope he's not missing. But we must consider the possibility. Many people have disappeared, and the young man doesn't show up for his own wedding? For his sake, I hope he's simply... With the young man, the blood runs hot. He may have found another woman. Or it could be that he realized the foolishness of the idea. His family does not support the marriage either. His brother... For a crown to marry a forebear? In Sentinel, this may happen. But in Bergamo, it is unheard of. For generations, our family's allegiances have not changed. If these two marry, whatever allegiance they choose... Ha! Oh yes. I'm sure King Faharajad would like that very much. For crowns and forebears to settle our differences, while he is in power. This would mean Faharajad's line would have everlasting...
What?
Yeah!
I welcome you to Bergamo, Wayfarer. I hope you brought your gold. Our markets have goods of the finest quality, things you can find nowhere else. Regardless of any rumors, I assure you the city is not entirely, but they have certainly been.
Do not add to my troubles.
Pardon me. I would speak with you. Greetings, Wayfarer. Our fair city has always been a sanctuary for those traveling across the scorching sands of the Alik'r desert. I hope you find it so. I am Justice Ista, the head of security here. I am pleased to meet you. I overheard you speaking to the magistrate. You expressed an interest in assisting with the investigation? I know she believes we have the situation under control, but I'm afraid nothing could, because I have withheld many of the facts. Magistrate Sulma is a forebear, In this withered hand business has the Crown's here calling for King Faharajah to step down. She has enough worries with that. Security. I do. My bailiffs and I are Crowns. Duty requires we be impartial, but forebears do not trust us, and now our fellow Crowns distrust us because we work for the Magistrate. No one talks, so we have... That is what I had hoped. Of course, neither forebears nor Crowns will open up to a stranger, and in fact, you can't even enter their respective fellowship houses. I have a plan, though. You simply have to wear these dishdashas to discuss. Yes, people get quiet when my bailiffs and I are around. Explore the city and listen. In particular, wear the disguises and visit Ragada's Respite and Ator's Oasis. Follow up on any leads. I regret that political disagreements between Crowns and forebears should impede a criminal investigation, but recent events have increased tensions dramatically. I am confident that your assistance in the investigation... The Crowns are traditionalists. We worship the old gods. In Bergama, many Crown families are even descended from ancient Yokudan nobility. Though we are loyal to the throne, we would prefer to see someone other than Faharajah sitting on it. Politically speaking, the forebears claim to be more progressive. They've taken to worshipping the imperial gods and associating more with the other races. King Faharajah even joined the Daggerfall Covenant, a move Crowns were firmly against. Justices are men and women chosen by common vote to keep order in Bergama. It is a grave responsibility, not a reward. We answer to the Magistrate, but keep our own counsel. If you break the law in Bergama,
I don't need much.
Welcome to Bergama, Wayfarer. We have the finest musical instruments in all Hammerfell. Kaznar, that's a sore subject. Believe it or not, he's actually getting married today. Should be at the wedding right now. He's not? Well, I'll be a lizard's uncle. I guess our little talk may have convinced him after all. We all went out drinking last night, and my cousin and I made one last attempt to talk him out of it. I guess it worked. Damn. I don't know. I would have expected him to tell me if he had made such a decision. With so many people missing lately, I prefer to make sure. He should be at my cousin. The more I think about it, the more this concerns me. If you find my brother, tell him to come speak with me. If he doesn't come soon, I'm going to close up shop and help you. You must understand. I love my little brother, but he is so naive. He shouldn't associate with a crown girl, let alone marry her. Our father, Tuwaka, keep his soul, would never have approved. Of course I do. But I cannot disrespect our father's memory. None of this matters, though.
I wish I was off adventuring.
Welcome to the Bergama Crown Fellowship Hall. I do not recognize you, but I see you wear the formal. Those who honor the ancient Yokudan traditions are always welcome.
Our brother Istar has not visited. Quiet. We are being watched. Our brother Istar has not visited the Fellowship House much of late.
No, but one of the bailiffs was here. Believe it or not, the guards almost didn't let him in.
Truly? What possible reason would the guards have for keeping out a bailiff?
His crown Distasha was all shredded up. I suppose it happened when he arrested someone. I just gave him a new one.
I must finish this.
Welcome to the Fellowship Hall. You're not from Bergama, though. Are you from Sentinel? Then you may come and go as you see fit. Would you like me to get the door?
You are guilty of stealing. There will be a price to pay. Greetings. Greetings, kid.
I beg of you.
Well?
Smiles on charity.
Will this work never end? The person behind the disappearances is definitely a crown. No doubt about it.
Now that's low, even for you. How could you possibly know that?
Because there were shreds of a crown dish dasha left at one of the crime scenes.
Are the bailiffs covering that up? This is the first I've heard of it.
Regardless of what he's told you, Magistrate, Ista and his bailiffs have made no progress in their investigation.
Honestly, I'm more worried about the withered hand than these disappearances, Councilman. We just have to give Ista more time.
I don't know. Bailiff Fakimal, the one who lives at the northwest edge of town, I heard he was ignoring evidence in the case.
We can't believe everything we hear. You have my word, though, if necessary. I will deal with Ista.
What annoyance is this?
Justice Ista, you are hereby found guilty of obstructing an investigation and conspiring against the people of Bergama.
I do not know from where these charges originate, Magistrate, but I am innocent. You will see. The truth will come to light.
You will remain here until a thorough investigation has been completed. I am sorry, Ista.
Well, it seems my efforts to shield the Magistrate from security concerns have landed me in the Magistrate says I impeded the investigation. Apparently, she went behind my back to conduct her own inquiries. I found evidence she has been meeting secretly with Fakimal, one of my... What? How can this be true? Fakimal has been known to bend the law, but he always followed orders. I can't imagine him going on a killing spree. Where... Dead? The poor boy. I don't understand. You're saying he was killing people under orders? The only people with the authority to issue orders to Fakimal are myself and... the Magistrate. That looks like Sulma's key. And this would explain why she put me in the stocks. May I request one last favor, then? The Magistrate's home is southwest of the Hall of Judgment. Would you invest?
I was beginning to think this fight was hopeless. With the Great Shackle destroyed, we might just have a chance here.
This is becoming tiresome.
Finish this.
Step up, have a look.
Come on, you dogs. We need to get this load of bodies out of here. Alasan is waiting. What were you doing down there? So now you know my dark secret. It must be horrifying. I haven't been able to bring myself to go down there since this began. I just gave Fakimal a key. Do you understand, though? Do you realize why this is necessary? Yes, there is no other way. Do you understand the power of the Withered Hand? King Faharajad, the Ashaba, they cannot stop them. Eventually the Hand would have come here and killed everyone. This deal is our own. It was the only deal Alasan would accept. If that's your choice.
Nothing to do but keep at it.
Sharing the evidence you discovered at Fakimal's house, I was able to convince the other bailiffs to release me from the stocks. Tell me, though, what did you learn? That must have been quite a grisly scene. The other bailiffs are already on their way over there. I will leave it to them to arrest the magistrate as well. Why, though? Why did the magistrate and Fakimal kill? All right. I have witnessed many dark crimes in my time as justice, but they pale in comparison to this. To think our own magistrate would make a deal with the Withered Hand. What could she possibly hope to gain from such a noble notion, I suppose, but nothing can justify the murder of innocents. She will pay for her crimes. You've done quite a service for our fair city. I'm not one for emotional...
There you are. There you are. The scholar Zore said I might find you here. You must make great haste. Prince Azar is in need of your assistance. He is at the shipyards town of Tava's Blessing. The Withered Hand is there, and he needs you to come as soon as possible. The scholar Zora said something about that being the birthplace of one of the Ansei, whatever that means. Oh, and Scholar Zora wants her apprentice Shiri to return to Bergama right away. She wants you to speak to Captain Rawan and ask him to order Shiri to return, whether the girl wants to or not. Tava's Blessing is where the Royal Navy has its shipyards. You must not let the town fall to the withered hand. Beware of the shifting sands, Wayfarer. The ships being built at the Tava's Blessing shipyards are critical for the Covenant.